highly appreciated. Can't express it enough. Real talk, real shit. So anyways, y'all, we gonna get right into the video. So I noticed, personal experience, family experience, friends experience, you know what I mean? So I'm talking just literally off experience, you know what I'm saying? And, most problems that we have in our relationships are probably one of the biggest problems that we have in our relationship is literally financial, right? Now, let's face it, let's be honest with each other, right? You meet somebody, you know what I mean? Let's say you meet somebody right now, like for an example, right? You working, you got a cool job. They working, they got a cool job. Y'all going on dates, everything is going cool. Everything is going fine right now, right? Y'all get a little bit more serious. Maybe y'all move in with each other or find a place together. And, for an example, you guys come up with some type of arrangement where whether y'all paying half the rent together, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool, whatever, because you're able to move around easier. You can still go on dates, right? However, one of the persons in a relationship, whether it's the man or the woman loses their job, or it's the man telling a woman that she could quit her job because they got a promotion or a raise at their job and they want them to stay at home, maybe to start a family or for her or him to focus more on their business, right? And as you support them through their journey, on their business, you're finding it a harder time than usual paying for things. So maybe you're still able to support the rent and the bills, right? But one thing that's been overlooked is what about the dates, right? Because a lot of the times, literally, when you have to pay more money and you barely making it, when ends barely meet, you don't have the money that you had before to be able to go on these dates. You know what I mean? To take these 3-day vacations or a couple's retreat. You know what I'm saying? Going to an island. You know what I mean? Whether it's flying or even simple things as a movie, right? Because if the movie's running you like $70, you know what I'm saying? Popcorn, seats and all of that. And then gas money, you know what I mean? You may be shy of a phone bill, you know what I'm saying? You may be shy of even gas money if you got to travel far with work, right? So a lot of the times relationships, right, they are damaging or they ended because of financial. And it's the truth. So what happens is when money start going low, one of the number one complaints is we don't do things no more. Okay? So we don't do things no more. We don't go on dates. We don't do things. So if it's the man or the woman, whoever is bringing home the money, they automatically feel some kind of way because the only reason they feel like we're not doing things is because of the fact that there's no money to do things. And I'm supporting you. But the other person is not able to pay, whether they're chasing their dreams because you gave them opportunity to allow them to, or they lost their job and whatnot. They don't feel that way. They feel like they're at home all day and then when they go out, right? So automatically, you guys are now starting to see things differently, right? You feel like they don't understand what you got to do, the hard work to pay the bills, and then they feel like you know what I'm saying? You don't care about what they say about going out. And then, you do some extra time at work, overtime at work. You've been saving up, you know what I mean, for a couple of dates. And you find yourself more tired than usual because you're putting in more hours at work. So when you get home, you want to just crash or you just want to just watch some movies and just chill. But the other person don't want to do that. And so it begins to be this conflict, especially when you're laying down, get ready to go to sleep. It turns into a conversation, a 5-10 minute conversation to an hour to a 2-hour argument. And then these things repeat itself and you begin to do what? Right? They start to be draining, right? And when you got to go to work drained, it just reminds you on why you went to work drained, right? For arguing, right? And so you have a big argument. My experience, it takes like 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? Kind of not to necessarily get over an argument, but to go back to feeling your regular self, right? Depending on what was said or actually more than what was actually done in the argument, right? So sometimes people just don't recover from those arguments. Okay? And then it'll start again, but the thing is, nobody would never say it's because of the money. Everybody, a lot of people, a lot of relationships skip past the money, y'all. They go to everything else. They go, instead of saying, hey, it's the money, they'll go and say, hey, you've been doing this lately. You've been acting like this lately. They'll never stick to topic. Like if you're going to argue with me, right? I don't know. Like, let's say you argue with me for not folding up the clothes, right? Or not folding up the clothes when I wash the clothes, just washing and sit there, right? Stick to me about that one topic, right? Don't turn around and then talk to me, not just folding the clothes, but talking to me about washing the car or fixing the car, and that turn into something else, right? Stick to the one topic, because you can move better that way. Because the chances is, if somebody is telling you something you're not doing right, and you listening to them and agreeing, and then it turns into 3 to 4 other things, the chances is, right, it's a financial problem, right? The chances is it might be something more bigger than what you're thinking. Okay? So again, how to fix it is the problem, right? How do we all fix it, right? How do we all just fix it? Because some of us have children, right? Like myself, where if you want to, it's harder to go on dates, right? When you got kids, because you got to be there for your kids. And you can't let anybody nowadays watch your kids, and your family, they got things they got to do. So when you want to go on a date, you know what I'm saying, you got to kind of go around family schedule or close friends schedule along with your schedule to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And if you find yourself calling off a day of work to be able to make that happen, you might affect your relationship later because you lost that day of pay and don't see it right away. These is big things in relationships, y'all. Okay? And so this is my advice for everybody, right? This is literally my advice, right? You got to kind of have at least 2 or more incomes coming in, right? And you got to have one of your source of incomes coming in be at least savings, right? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of all of that, you have to be able to ask. Don't be afraid to ask your significant other. If you're a man out there, and as men, sometimes we let our egos get in the way, right? Don't be afraid to ask your woman for money, right? Don't be afraid to ask her for money. Don't feel like they should, even women, don't feel like everybody's supposed to know you see me over here paying this and paying that. You should offer. Don't feel that way, y'all, because when you start feeling that way, you start allowing it to build up into other things and other feelings that it's not. It's okay to be like, hey, I'm kind of short this week. I'm short this month. I'm going to need this amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Rather, hey, yeah, I got it. You know what I'm saying? No, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? It's okay to be able to ask. And I feel like that's what's killing us in relationships, right? It's the abilities, ego tripping, and the ability to feel like we all of a sudden psychics. We should know how each other feels. So I should know, you should know that I'm paying all the bills. I'm paying all the rent. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying food now. And now payday has arrived, and that payday is literally for rent. You know what I mean? I barely have any money in my pocket. But I'm not going to ask my woman, because if I ask my woman, it's going to make me feel bad. But she sees me doing all of this. She got extra money in her pocket. She should be able to offer me money. And she got to read all of this, by the way, right? You expecting her, or you expecting him to read all of this? And they can't. Because a lot of the times they not thinking like how we thinking, because we the ones that's paying it, right? They thinking like, okay, I got some money in my pocket, cool. If they need some money, or we need some money for whatever situation is, I got it, but we too busy stuck on, this. You see what I pay. You see what I do. We know this, and that's clearly not the case. We do not. So this is exactly why in financial problems, when you notice your money is being short because him or her have lost their job, and you know what I'm saying, and you have to take on the other's responsibility to pay, this is why you have to continue to ask, right? And another thing is, too, don't be worried about him or her if they looking for a job, or if they not looking for a job when you at work. Because, see, this is my whole thing. When you be with somebody, you should know who you with to begin with. You should already know that about him. You should know that about her. Like, if they lose their job, they're the kind of person that would bounce back and get another job, because that's a sign of damaging your relationship or financial. Because when you feeling like you paying everything, and you coming home for work and you see them all cozy in the bed, or whether they smoking, playing a video game, chilling, you know what I mean, going out a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, that's clearly going to make you upset, because you're like, yo, what are you doing? You're supposed to be looking for a job. You're supposed to be having a job, but they don't know what they did to do that. Like, For an example, they might have got up 8 o'clock in the morning and looked for a job between 8 to 11 and already set up 2 interviews the next day. And so they preparing themselves for these interviews, and then, you know what I mean? And now they about to go out and do what? Go see their family. You know what I mean? Maybe go get something to eat, crash in the bed, lay down. Maybe watch some video, play some videos. You know what I mean? Play some video games, watch some videos. You don't know exactly what they're doing all day to make moves. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's their business, whether it's they business they've been working on for a long time, their life goals, their short goals, their long goals. You don't know exactly. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly why you have to give each other space and trust. You have to use that trust when you're going through a financial crisis, because money will make and break people, literally. You know what I'm saying? If you live in your same life right now like you normally do, right? Get up and go to work, right? Every day, and you're able to maintain your bills no problem and go out when you want to, buy things you want to. I'm telling y'all, right? Whenever stuff happens, the car broke down. You either got to repair the car or get the car fixed, right? And when you got to do that now, you're now in the hole, right? You may take the money for rent, which is a bad idea, because it just means you're going to have to pay a late fee. And if you're already behind on rent, what's the chance of you paying that late fee? You're going to be late again. It's going to keep adding up. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? So this is exactly why, before you even get with somebody, know these things about somebody first. You know what I'm saying? And then you got people also in relationships when their birthday come, Christmas come, a holiday come, anniversary come, and they feel less than when they can't get a gift, because social media have made us all feel like these holidays, these special days, these special occasions are always meant to splurge on. That's why it's important, again, why you get you somebody that understand that don't make y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's always the thought that counts. You know what I'm saying? It literally is. It can be a rock outside, right? That rock may mean something to that significant other, right? It has a lot of value in that rock than it might be a $300 purse or a $300 watch. You know what I'm talking about? It's the thought. These are people sometimes that just lack the romance and just lack knowledge in a relationship that they need to get money, to splurge this money on a gift. You know what I mean? It don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? It has no value to the gift, because why did you get this gift? You know what I'm saying? But what means something to somebody literally don't cost much. You know what I'm saying? Whether you making their favorite dish that day or their birthday, or you know what I'm talking about, taking them to a special place, like they love to go to the beach at night and have a bonfire, for an example. These things that are priceless compared to these things that cost a lot of money, because they are designed to slander your relationship, right? Like, for an example, you get a $300 watch for your birthday. Y'all get into an argument, right? An argument about washing clothes, for an example, right? That argument about washing clothes, right, led into, you wasn't saying that when I got your ass that watch. You know what I'm saying? Or he wasn't saying that shit, I got your ass that purse. You wasn't doing all that talking, I brought you that new phone. You wasn't talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like it started off with something and it lead to something. But if you got somebody something, right, a $300 watch, $300 purse, right, why are you talking about a gift if y'all talking about washing clothes, right? Because they don't have no value they can bring to the relationship besides material things. You see what I'm saying? This is why, and I'm not saying, by the way, too, in no form or way am I telling anybody not to go out and splurge on a significant other. If you want to do that, if you want to do, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling y'all not to do that. But if you are with somebody that you have splurged on, or bought them some great gifts, right, and they turn around in an argument and bring it up, or you bring it up, the chances is, you know what I'm saying, you got to go back and rethink some things in your relationship, because who are you with? You know what I'm saying? Who are you really with? Somebody that's just excited and pleased by material things? You know what I mean? Because the reason why the thought matters so much, y'all, because the thought is loving somebody more, right? When you put thought into something, you really care about somebody. When you just stopping at your local mall, you know what I'm saying, it's to get a gift because it's the day so you can, quote unquote, be quiet. That's not really caring about somebody. When you take a time out your day thinking out, even if you bought a $300 gift, but it was well thought out how you gonna do it, you know what I mean, what it meant to this person. They had a purse like this, it broke, someone stole it, maybe they had this purse for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the thought about it, because you're taking time out your day thinking about, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this how I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're gonna do, how you gonna do it, and why you gonna do it. It should never be, the why should never be to shut them up. If I don't get something, it's going to be an argument. If I get something cheap, it's going to be an argument. But my money is low, so I'm just going to deep into my savings account, and I'm going to buy them a gift to shut them up, and I really can't afford to do that, and they're not going to understand, because as soon as we have an argument, they're going to bring it up and throw it in my face. You see what I'm saying? This is why financial money is breaking these relationships. You know what I mean? It should never be like that, man. Real love, you don't need none of this. You know what I'm saying? You don't. You know, real love is not built off money. But we are allowing money to build our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Just like a plain Jane Rolex, right? Now, I'm a big watch guy, okay? And so, for an example, right? There's guys that be like, oh, you know, my nigga got on a plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? Rolex, by the way, right? A Rolex, right? A plain Jane Rolex, right? And then they walking around with VVS's, right? Which they believe is VVS's, by the way. They don't even know if it's VVS's, right? But it makes them feel better if a man got on a plain Jane, they got VVS's, because when they watch social media, the biggest influencers on social media, or the rappers, are pushing these VVS diamonds, right, on a watch. You know what I'm saying? That you can literally get no cap out of probably a Ross, and it looks the same, and nobody's gonna know it's the same but yourself and the jeweler if you try to sell it, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a show and tell. But if you a watch guy like myself, for an example, right, you know about watches, you know what I mean, and you know what you like, and you know why you like it, you know what I'm saying, and you're not just getting it because it's in style or it's popping right now. You're getting it because that's what you really want and that's what you really like. You see what I'm saying? But this is what people doing. They're taking it and they're doing stuff to make sure, like, okay, we got to do this. We got to keep up with the Joneses, because you know what? You got a plain Jane. Her dude got on a bust down Rollie. You know what I'm talking about? I got me she got a Louis Vuitton purse. Her friend got a Versace purse. Now our friends that was once our friends is our enemies now. They are competition. So even if we go broke, we are going to take our credit cards and max it to the fullest, right? We're going to max it to the fullest to make sure when they see us, we got that bust down, and I got the Versace now, right? Now it's going to make them bust a move now, right? Because I got a newer Versace and a newer bust down. You see what I'm saying? And when y'all start doing that, competing with people, now these people who got the bust down or the Versace, they probably really are into that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they got a new car. Now we about to get a new car. You know what I'm saying? And during this process, by the way, a lot of the times people are literally getting cheated on because they're not being pleased. There's never really an excuse for cheating on nobody, but they're not being pleased how they want to because they're going through other problems. Instead of just breaking up with the person and moving forward and doing their thing, they'll keep that person trapped and cheat on them. And it's not cool. It's not acceptable at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this is what people would do. You know what I mean? Trying to keep up with the Joneses in relationships, and now relationships is based off money. You know what I mean? If your dude is cool with a Guess watch on, which Guess, a G-Shock got some good watches, right? You know what I'm saying? Guess got some good watches, right? I'm just naming some very affordable good watches, right? Then you don't got to get him a Rollie, even if it's a plain Jane Rollie, for an example, right? Because I feel like guys like myself who into watches get those. You know what I'm saying? They understand the value of a watch and appreciate a watch. Then the guy that's getting a bust down, he can't even read the time of that motherfucker. You get what I'm talking about? But I'm just saying it for an example. You know what I'm saying? Don't go buy him something that he don't really want to be in competition with your friends, man. You know what I'm saying? In the same way with guys, don't go buy her something that you know she don't want to be in comparison with them. You know what I'm saying? This is why we are letting money affect our relationship, man. Affect our love. And a lot of times in relationships, what we make out of them, y'all. Even if the relationship go down a hill, we still make these beautiful kids, right? And they will be the ones affected by it. That's why we got to step up and get out of this mind thing that we stuck in. You know what I'm saying? And if you love somebody, you're never in competition with nobody you love. If you're not out there competing for money, you are racing, you know what I'm saying, sports, what competition you are in. When you are with somebody, y'all are a team, not against each other. If you got friends, they are on your team, not against each other. Who are you competing with? Much love and respect to everybody, man. Y'all have a good day.